A Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. We're at roughly the halfway point of the League One volleyball season. Atlanta hosts Austin, their fourth and final regular season meeting this year.
Hands in the air, everybody stop and stare when I walk by. No, I don't care. Ain't nobody stopping me till I get mine. No, best of the best. Everybody east to west will know my name. Hashtag rise. I got the gold, yeah, I already won this game. Hey, hey, yeah, I got what it takes. Hey, hey, yeah, I got what it takes. I don't mess with no fake. Shake it up like an earthquake. I keep it real, cause I got what it takes.
And hi, everybody, and welcome inside Gateway Center Arena, 10 miles south of downtown. Along with Michael Seeley, I'm Rich Burke. Salt Lake is in first place in League One volleyball, though Houston closed the gap with their 4-set win in Salt Lake City last night. Austin is 6-5, coming off a win on Friday at home over Madisen. Atlanta has won 3 straight. They're looking better and better as they creep up on the leaders. And remember, come April, the top 4 teams in the league will advance to the LOVB playoffs. 3 nights ago in Houston, Atlanta's Ivani Montano had a breakout match.
Ivani Montano, this is her 3rd start of the season in her 1st year of League One volleyball, and I'll tell you, if it goes anything like the last match, we're in for a good one. Houston Thursday night, 26 kills, hit for a really high percentage, 480. And she may be new to American eyes, volleyball eyes, but this 30-year-old Colombian national, it's her 13th pro season, and she's not new to carrying a heavy offensive load. She's actually led 3 different professional leagues in scoring and was the A1 Italian MVP in 2024. I'm excited to see her on court today.
Been really impressed with Ivani Montano in the matches I've called for her this year. And for Austin, Asia O'Neill is back after missing the last 2 matches.
Yeah, she's missed 2, but don't forget she scored 18-plus points in 3 of her last 4 matches. She's a highly decorated college athlete, University of Texas, 2-time All-American, 2-time national champion. She actually leads block totals for University of Texas. She got her international start with the national team, making the VNL roster in 2023, which is really difficult to do at a college age. But I think more importantly for Austin, she's a huge emotional spark for this team.
Yeah, they will love having her back in the starting lineup. Austin's starting lineup is presented by Adidas. Opposite Madisen Skinner, like O'Neill, a legit Olympic hopeful for 2028, is 4th in the league in kills per set. Logan Eggleston, another Olympic hopeful, 2.8 kills per set, hitting 192. She gets a lot of out-of-system sets. The Atlanta starting lineup is also presented by Adidas. Outside hitter Mackenzie Adams, coming off a strong match a couple of nights ago. She had 10 kills and hit 429. Setter Rachel Fairbanks had 53 assists that night in 4 sets. And there's Onye Ofebu, who has been playing really well. And again, the Austin starting lineup. Madisen Skinner, again, very much an Olympic hopeful. Maddie Banks has been playing well. Zoe Jarvis had taken the libero job away from Kotoe Inoue. And Bree O'Reilly has done some good work at setter this year. Let's have a look at today's scouting report.
For Austin, we all know the level they can play, but they really need to jump from the survive to thrive. They've played 11 matches so far, and 7 of them have gone 5 sets. Yes, they've survived. They've won 5 of the 5 sets, but there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds that have caused them to even go 5. So I think when they start playing their potential level more consistently, they'll get into thrive mode. As far as Atlanta, just keep on keeping on. This is a really young team that's on the right track. Remember, 4 of their 7 starters were playing college just 2 years ago. So I think they're learning and improving as the season progresses, and they've got a great, gritty, resilient attitude that's going to get them where they want to be.
And they also have an excellent head coach in Paulo Coco, last year's League One Volleyball Coach of the Year. He has also helped the Brazilian national team to 3 Olympic medals, 2 of them gold.
I was lucky enough to speak to him but this week and was blown away. I looked at his resume. Being a Brazilian national team coach, 5 times Brazilian Super League titles. He's done everything. And with being such a rock star in his home country, why do you make the move to come to America? And he just wants to learn. So even at this stage in his coaching career, he's so excited to learn.
Lifelong learning. I love it. Meanwhile, for Austin, their acting head coach is Rob Browning, with head coach Eric Sullivan taking care of some national team duties this week. For 2 decades, he was head coach at St. Mary's.
He's been a foundational piece for USA Volleyball men's and women's side for decades now. He's been involved with Olympic rosters, and he's just that salt of the earth, really calm presence that's important for every staff.
6-year assistant for the U.S. men's national team, including the gold medal in Beijing in 2008. Bree O'Reilly, the setter for Love Austin. The last time these two teams met on February the 4th, O'Reilly set a league record with 63 assists.
Their last match, she had great connection with the middles, hit for a really high percentage. I do want to see if they can kind of clean up some of their offense to the pins. I think Bree and the outside hitters and the opposite weren't quite on the same page as far as what speed and height they were trying to perform at.
Well, we'll see if they can make that adjustment. Gateway Center Arena in College Park, Georgia, 10 miles south of downtown, next door to Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Opened in November 2019, also home of the Atlanta Dream of the WNBA. And O'Reilly will get set to send it away, and we'll be off and rolling on this Sunday afternoon. The first of 2 League One volleyball matches today. The other will be at 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 as Anne-Marie Anderson and Cameron Irwin will have the call of Madison at Nebraska. In the meantime, Austin at Atlanta, and here we go. Off speed from Mackenzie Adams. Bumps at Zoe Jarvis. Here's Skinner, who goes off speed. Montano was there. Mac Adams going hard angle attack. Didn't get the hands. And Austin gets the first point. Hard to believe, already the 4th meeting this year between the two.
Yeah, when you only got 6 teams in the league, you got to play everyone a bunch.
Austin has won 2 of the previous 3. Each team defending their home floor every time. Montano tools the block.
Definitely keep an eye on Eva Hudson passing right now. She had some passing struggles in the last match and actually got pulled from the match. It looks like Austin is looking at that and trying to attack her right away.
Okay, so it's 2-0 Austin leading. Montano had 26 kills, just 2 attack errors in her previous match. And that one goes wide. No consecutive attack errors for Love Atlanta.
That's bad news for Atlanta. You had the perfect pass from Hudson and Afubu in the middle, just missing where she's usually pretty golden.
Yes, she is. Fairbanks going to Montano, who goes off speed and gets the side out. Ivana Montano, her first kill.
What sets up the success for that tip is the fact that Austin watched her last match and saw her so powerful scoring. They're back deep, ready to dig the hard-driven ball.
Yeah, she does have a heavy arm. Onya Ofebu's serve. Overpass. Can Atlanta capitalize? Mac Adams. Jarvis trying to dig it. Banks can't run it down. And Adams with her first kill. Atlanta is back within 1.
Beautiful bang-bang play where Adams doesn't even able to get an approach. Just standing at the net, jumping swings. Shows you don't always need to have the perfect approach to be successful.
Great athlete Mackenzie Adams. We'll tell you a lot more about her a little later on. And from the middle, Molly McCage getting into the act.
I love Austin's connection with their middles. They're really successful last match they played. Both middles hit over 400.
McCage had 8 kills, had a big 5th set, couple of kills and a block as Austin was able to win that match. Montano gets rejected by McCage. You see her offensively and now defensively.
Atlanta really out of system in the first part of this match. I think they've only had that one system swing to Afebu in the middle.
1 of 5 positive passes, now 2 of 6 as Montano takes a big swing. Got dug by O'Reilly, the set by Jarvis. Skinner trying to better the ball, gets dug by their setter Fairbanks. There's a dig for Eggleston. And Skinner going wrist away. 6-2 Austin.
That was the connection I was looking for. Gets the ball fast enough to Madisen on the backside, but high enough to give her attack options. It was a much better adjustment from the last match they played.
That's a great athlete right there. Madisen Skinner. Now Eggleston serve. Hudson's pass, back set Montano. Overhand dig by Eggleston. Maddie Banks Dug by Peanut Pinoy. Montano's second swing of the rally, went for the tip and didn't get over the net. 7-2. Austin leading it.
We may see an early timeout here.
Yeah, they're out of sync.
I know coaches don't like to use it with only having one too early in the set, but this is getting away from them.
They had a couple of sets getting away from them the other night in Houston, but they were able to get the job done. Off speed from Adams. Dug by O'Reilly. Jarvis with the set. Swing for Skinner. Tia Jimerson. Dug by Jarvis. Back row attack. Eggleston. Back at her. Block for Atlanta. They get the side out. They're back within 4.
Nice job by Atlanta just staying in that rally. Keep getting quality touches. Both teams back and forth, back and forth.
Good work by Tia Jimerson. Jimerson played the bulk of the second half of the match last time out with Magdalena Yehelasheva on the bench. Good pass. Banks had the pass, had the swing, and got the high hands. Side out Austin. They lead 8-3.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the adjustment like we talked about in the pregame. Just missing a little bit too fast, a little bit too low on the outside. All the sets so far to the pin have given the hitters opportunities to score.
Hudson's pass a good one that time. Jimerson on the slide. And we had a net violation against Atlanta. Jimerson didn't like it.
She thinks she's outside the antenna, and you're allowed to hit the net if you're outside the antenna.
There's a challenge coming from Atlanta and Paulo Coco. Paulo Coco, you mentioned 5 Superliga titles in Brazil. Jimerson again. She did hit the net, but the question is where?
If you're hitting the ropes that are connecting the net to the pole or that part of the net that's on the outside of the antenna, then that's legal.
Paulo Coco, also longtime assistant coach, or as they say in Brazil, second coach of the women's national team. Won a couple of gold medals. Each team has 2 challenges per set. They usually resolve quicker than this. And here's what's available to be challenged. More liberal challenge rules here in this league than in international volleyball. FIVB keeps a close eye on League One volleyball and their rules. The goal here is to be similar to international rules, but also innovative. And the challenge successful. No net fault. And so the point goes to Atlanta.
Should just be a replay, actually.
Replay, okay. Replay the point. McCage will serve. Challenge successful because, as we mentioned, Jimerson did hit the net, but it was outside the antenna. Hudson's pass, a good one. Back row attack by Montano. One-on-one with Asia O'Neal.
And that's a lot of what we saw Thursday night. Good pass, running her out of the back row in system.
She's playing in place of Tessa Grubbs, their starting opposite, one of the better opposites in a league stacked with good opposites. And service error for Adams. Tessa Grubbs out for the year after her second season-ending ankle injury in 2 seasons. There's Tessa. Expected to have surgery in the upcoming week so that she can correct that problem once and for all. Out of system here. Montano sending it over, and it goes long.
A lot of this issue for Atlanta just comes from that pass. And Austin's doing a great job of serving Hudson, keeping that pressure on, not letting her come up to breathe.
First contact after the serve is the pass, and there's an ace. The miscommunication for Atlanta. 11 for Austin. And each pass is rated 0 to 4. A 3 or 4 is considered a positive pass. Their positive pass percentage is only at 30% right now.
Passers made the mistake of not being on the same page. Pinoy moved closer to Hudson to help out her passing woes, but the other passer didn't fill the space that Pinoy left and left a giant seam in the middle of the court.
Side out Atlanta. 11-5 Austin. And Tia Jimerson will serve. Jimerson, the Atlanta native, Sugar Hill, Georgia. Grew up playing for A5 Gwinnett. Maddie Banks with the tip. And Austin with a 12-5 first set lead here in Atlanta. League One Volleyball is presented by Skims, the official loungewear, intimates, and sleepwear partner of Love.
Well, I'll tell you what, this match looks a lot like the match from Thursday night when Atlanta dropped really slow start at the beginning of that match. We've all seen that zombie movie. The hero kills the zombie, leaves the place, and they turn around and the zombie walks out of the fire, dragging that mutilated leg in slow, terrifying pursuit. That's kind of how the match went last time. Atlanta missed 6 of their first 7 serves. They were down 18-11, 21-15, and just slowly kept plodding along. Ended up winning that first set, and they did it again in the third set. Down 18-13, playing uninspired volleyball, but just kept coming and going. So they're down big right now, but this is exactly what their last match looked like.
They ended up winning in the 5th set, 15-13. Eva Hudson, number 27 there, has been served 9 times already. Positive pass percentage 33%. They serve her again, and it results in an ace. I tell you, Atlanta, they're going to win this set. They'll really have to rise from the dead. This would be their best act yet.
Yeah, you can't hide this level. The teams are so good they can serve any spot on the court. So even when you pinch a passer, the serving is just so accurate. So she's already out of the match just based on passing.
And her passing is right at league average. Julia Sangiacomo in, and she struggles with the pass. Yeah, Hudson's pass percentage, 497. That's right at league average. Sangiacomo's have much smaller sample size, 333. But Sangiacomo coming in to replace her. And she struggles in her first effort, and Atlanta takes a timeout. If you're Paulo Coco, how do you solve this?
Flush it. It's frustrating. You don't like it, but who cares? You had a match like this 2 nights ago. At this point in the match on Thursday, we were saying, okay, you're not going to win the first set. Just get some momentum, start playing your game. And it's the same talk here. Just pass the ball. Just touch the ball. Just play our game. Keep it high. Can't give up the aces. You still got to, if you're going to make a passing mistake, make it too high, make it too far off the net, give your setter a chance to make a hittable ball. But it's the fact that their passing ball is getting aced, shank balls down to the ground, that doesn't have any opportunity for an out-of-system swing.
How much of passing is about focus?
The problem is it's like missing free throws in a basketball game. Once you start missing, it becomes this virus. So once you know they're serving you and there's the pressure that you know it's coming to you, if you don't have a whole lot of passing experience, it's hard to get back on track.
I was talking with Tama Miyashiro, the head coach of Salt Lake, about Alexa Gray and her passing. And she said sometimes when you talk to passers about passing, they struggle more.
Yeah,
It's inside their head more.
Paralysis by analysis. You think too much about it, you make it a bigger story, mountain out of a molehill. So it's just knowing which kind of athlete needs which feedback when they're struggling.
Rachel Fairbanks now serves. Eggleston's pass is a good one. And O'Neal off 1 foot. Her first kill.
O'Reilly is just doing such a great job. Their offense is so much more in sync now than it was last time they played. The sets have integrity. They're quick enough and high enough for these amazing athletes to go attack.
Asia O'Neal wears her father's number 7. Dad Jermaine O'Neal, 18 years in the NBA. Sangiacomo, crossbody, dug by Skinner. The overdig is put down by Ofebu.
And that's a good example. It wasn't a great pass by Mackenzie Adams, but it was enough to at least get hands on it to get a ball in play, which causes an overdig.
15-7 Austin. Julia Sangiacomo. Her first serve of the night. Eggleston high in the air for the tip. Montano. Ivani Montano gets one back for Atlanta.
And yes, you're still down 7 points, but you just scored a real point off a dig. You had a quality pass. Just slowly find your game.
If nothing else, build some momentum for the second set. Eggleston again off the high hands, dug by Sangiacomo. Outside to Mac Adams, and it's rejected. Have a look at this with Molly McCage in the middle. McCage and the setter O'Reilly.
It's not a bad swing by Mackenzie Adams. She hit flat enough where the ball came back flat and can be covered.
Pinoy able to keep it alive after a bad pass. Skinner, dug by Fairbanks. Pinoy with the set. Adams with the swing, dug by Zoe Jarvis. O'Reilly teeing up Eggleston, going deep corner, and got it. What was it you said yesterday on our telecast about deep corner?
Who plays defense in that deep corner?
Nobody.
Nobody.
You know, Eggleston wants to raise that hitting percentage, standing at 192 coming into this match, but she gets a lot of junk sets. Ofebu, dug by Banks. What a dig. That's a kill almost every time. We had a double contact and a ball that went over the net. You're allowed to double contact nowadays, just not on a ball that goes over the net.
At first, I didn't like the rule being a purist and a former setter. I thought, well, if you're going to play the sport, I might as well learn how to set. But I do agree with the fact that it's already a penalty enough for the team that has a ball spinning coming out. So it's just better TV. Let the athletes play without having too many calls to stop.
Beatrice Negrete comes in to serve and play some defense. Had been the libero earlier in the year. Skinner. And that ball off the block and into the antenna. 18-9 Austin.
And again, her misses, O'Reilly's misses the other day were tight and low. If you go tight and high, you let these athletes be athletes and go earn that point. Great job by Skinner there.
Eggleston targeting Mac Adams, who's a good passer. Adams using the high hands, getting one back for Atlanta. 18-10 Austin, side out Atlanta. Going back to our previous discussion, I remember talking with some college setters who were grousing about the fact that double contacts are now allowed. I spent my entire life learning not to do that, and now it's allowed.
Yeah, it's evolution of the sport. We all complain too about the rally scoring system. We like the old side-out scoring, but a lot of these rules have helped progress our game more and makes it more palatable on TV.
Now Montano will serve. And a service error for Atlanta. That was rampant in the first set the other night in Houston. 6 of the first 8 points for Houston were on service errors. But they would eventually battle back after being down 18-11 and 21-15 and win that set. Carly DeHoog, her first swing goes off speed and it's sent back at her.
That's a tough ass trying to tip over Age O'Neill, especially from off the net. Ball hangs in the air so long, and Age just so physically gifted.
Out of system here, the set by Jemerson, off speed from Adams. Skinner, dug by DeHoog, bump set Pinoy. Adams again, big swing, going for the high hands. Did she get him? She did not.
It was a great set, but the angle of that set coming over Mackenzie Adams' shoulder is such a hard attack angle to get hand and eye coordination on that ball.
They're challenging whether or not there was a touch at the net.
Well, I'll tell you the good thing for Atlanta in this situation is the fact that Austin is playing this first set with an 8 to 11 point cushion, so you get that false sense of security. So when you get into this next set, if Atlanta can keep it close, then all of a sudden there's that zombie feel of, wow, we're so used to beating them by 10, but now we're only up by 1 or 2.
Right.
Changes the mentality a little bit.
Atlanta's won 3 straight after a 4-match losing streak. All 3 wins away from home, including one at the Love Classic. Again, this is just their 3rd home match this year. Including today, they'll play 7 of their final 11 at home. January 14th, they beat Austin in 4 here. Then on the 25th against Nebraska was postponed by the ice storm that blanketed the East Coast. January 28th, they lost to Houston in 4 at home. So they're going to be spending the bulk of the rest of the season here at Gateway Center Arena. See anything here?
I thought they were questioning Adams' swing. I don't know what.
Yeah.
They're looking at the wrong swing.
Yeah, I think so. Big smile from Mackenzie Adams. We'll talk about her a little bit between the 2nd and 3rd sets. Told you that Atlanta struggling with passing. Their positive pass percentage only 24% right now. The pass, there's only 1 per rally. It's the first contact after the serve. Each pass rated 0 to 4. A 3 is good. The setter basically has 3 options. A 4 is perfect. The setter has every option, including if she's in the front row, her opportunity to dump. And you're in system when the pass is a 3 or a 4. And so every coach's goal is to be in system and keep the other team out of system. Or as coaches tell you, win the serve and pass battle.
Well, right now Atlanta would pay for 2 passes. All their passing errors are 1s, which means you only have 1 hitter possible. If they would pass these balls 12 feet off the net and high, at least the setter would have a chance to set 2 different attackers. They just can't even get swings right now because the passing's so poor. And which is fine. If you're really in a funk, focus on 2 passes. Just got to stop getting aced.
And as a team this year, Atlanta 2nd best in the league, a positive pass percentage of .518. There's a good pass by Adams, a swing by DeHoog off the soft block. Skinner, dug by Negrati. Adams goes long.
Austin is not letting them get any easy kills. When they do get swings, their perimeter defense is so good, popping every ball up. Looks like they're getting out of their double sub. Didn't feel it worked well enough.
Now McCage will serve. Then all Austin. Katoya Inoue in the match as defensive specialist for Austin. No libero with McCage serving. Adams, another good pass. Back row attack by Montano. Attack air on Ivana Montano. 23-10 Austin. Montano,
I don't
3 kills and 5 attack errors.
I don't agree with this challenge. I think you need to flush this set. The sooner you get out of this set, we can just start again and start playing. Every time you challenge, we're sitting in the dirty diaper waiting to get on the what's next.
Good visual.
This one's done. Just get it out of the way.
Horses are already out of the
Move
barn
on.
here.
Yeah, you're not getting this one back. Things are funky. And we're just postponing the inevitable. Like, let's get on to set 2.
Paulo Coco doing some figuring. Eva Hudson got served off the court.
This is a new experience for him, because if this match is happening in Brazil, not only are the fans going crazy, throwing things, but the energy in the building would be so crazy, and he would be so elevated and probably screaming and yelling, trying to get his team passionately going. So right here, he's a little bit patient with his team, doesn't want to push too hard, but he just knows this isn't close to the level they can play. There's just nothing going right now.
Right. And again, these challenges are typically resolved so quickly because of the 40 cameras in the building and the Hawkeye technology. And that's why each coach is allowed 2 challenges per set. But these have taken substantially longer than normal.
If I'm Austin, I'm like, you guys, you can have the point. Take it. Don't worry about it. Let's just start playing again.
Love Austin started 3-1, then dropped 4 of 6, and then Friday they beat Madison in 5 at home.
Is that a little pinky wiggle right
there?
there?
Yeah, that hit Banks' pinky.
Wow.
I guess one thing positive for them, I say challenge unsuccessful.
Wow.
Looked to me like we had a pinky move there.
That's a micro.
And that's what Paulo Coco and Mackenzie Adams are arguing with the up official. I guess the one positive is it would help her stats, Montano's stats. We talked about the 18-11 comeback, the 21-15 comeback in set 1 for Atlanta against Houston a couple of days ago. What's the biggest set comeback you remember seeing?
I don't know numbers-wise, but it's always the ones you remember, the ones that it's match or set point, like a 24-19. I've seen the 5th set. I've seen a 14-8 comeback.
Okay.
Those are tough.
Wow, 14-8 in the 5th.
5th set, NCAA tournament.
Wow. The 22-11, the challenge indeed successful. It's postponing the inevitable, you would think. And now Adams will serve. You triskaidekaphobic?
What's that?
Are you triskaidekaphobic?
I'm not sure what that is.
Fear of the number 13.
No, it's my favorite number.
Oh, really? Okay. You and Taylor Swift and Mac Adams. Sangiacomo. Bump set by Jarvis. Here comes Skinner. And the block covers it up herself. Cubic Banks, Maddie Banks. No longer goes by her maiden name anymore. Multiple tips from each side. Fairbanks went for the dump.
It's a pillow fight.
Coverage by Kotoya Inoue. Banks tipping it again. Lunging dig by Montano. Free ball coming. Let's see if O'Reilly can capitalize. It's outside to Banks again. Off the block, sent over by Skinner. Sangiacomo was there. Montano. She was on the 10-foot line. So, extended rally. Hate to see that one in that way, but it did.
Atlanta's got a pulse at least. You know, they're battling. It's a great rally, a lot of back and forth.
Again, right now, they are just trying to get some momentum going for the next set. League One Volleyball, best of 5 sets. First 4 sets to 25. You have to win by 2. 5th set, if necessary, to 15. Montano tools the block. And at the rate you and I go, Seals, this one's going 5.
We'll see, as long as the zombies come back a little bit. This is a tough one to stomach, but hopefully they'll get that flushing this one out and get ready to start anew in set 2.
I did a match a few years back, Oregon against Oregon State. Oregon State lost the first set 25-9, but won the match. Off speed from Banks, and it's set point for Austin.
It's not uncommon. You see it in tennis all the time too. Someone will win the first 2 sets and they'll lose the 3rd, and then they're disappointed about not winning 3-0. And that's when that other team gets to come back.
Now Banks will serve. Another poor pass for Atlanta, not many options, but San Giacomo able to better the ball and get one back for Atlanta. Second set point coming up for Austin. Julia San Giacomo, the second-year player out of Northwestern. Prior to that, played at Santa Clara. And that's how the first set ends. Austin wins it 25-13 here in Atlanta. Love Austin looking for their second consecutive win, trying to get to 7-5. Hey, shades of Ansel Adams. Love the black and white photos.
As we're celebrating HBCUs today, it is hard to think about the culture of HBCUs without pants. Let's give it up one time for the Clark Atlanta University Marching Panthers!
Zoe Jarvis, not just a great volleyball player, she could have been a gymnast or maybe Cirque du Soleil. This is her Southern California sometime back. I believe this was her then fiance, now husband, British actor Robbie Jarvis, doing the videoing. That is something else.
You see her do some of those dynamic things in the volleyball court, and you see her overall athletic capabilities doing things like that. I was lucky enough to coach her for a couple years, and the biggest challenge is her athleticism. She wants to be challenged. She wants to dig more court. She wants more things. So it was hard to give her so much and still fit 4 other athletes on the defensive end.
Enjoyed my conversations with her over the years. Played at UCSB, then for my broadcast partner Michael Seeley for a couple of years at UCLA, and then at Texas, where she became a national champion and got married last May. It was a 3-day affair in the Austin area, and her teammates Logan, Eggleston, and Bella Bergmark were 2 of her bridesmaids. All right, set to go second set. Like you mentioned a couple of days ago, Seals, a lot easier to forget a 25-13 set loss than it is, say, 26-24.
There's no disappointment starting this match, starting this second set.
Off-speed Eggleston, dug by Pinoy. Fairbanks going to Montano, the tip. Lunging play by Jarvis. O'Reilly, back set. Eggleston the kill. 1-0 Austin.
But the good news for Atlanta is you made them earn it. You took good swings. You actually played good volleyball back and forth and made them earn it. And I guess if Zoe's going to spin on the rings like that, that tip's probably not going to fall.
By the same token, if you get dominated one set and you fall behind 3 or 4 in the next set, is it difficult to avoid thinking, here we go again?
Absolutely. And again, Austin has a false sense of security that they were up so big the whole set. If you can just play them tight, it's just a different feel. Great pass by Hudson there.
Eva Hudson back in the match. And LOVB the kill. Hudson is a better passer than she showed early on in that first set.
Big confidence boost for her to pass 2 great balls at the beginning of the set. And LOVB being one-on-one in the middle of the court scoring that ball.
Mac Adams will serve for Atlanta. Pass on the dime. Skinner, dug by Fairbanks. Pinoy the set. Montano the swing. Montano the kill. 2-1 Atlanta.
I remember this team.
First time they've had a lead in this match. Pass really tight to the net. All things considered, it was a good one. As thunderous as that serve was, there's Montano off the soft block. Jarvis there. Big on the dime, and there's a rejection. Montano coming up with a block.
They are definitely playing inspired volleyball right now. Again, we knew that they've been waiting for this set to start for 20 minutes now. It's glad they got a chance to just get it going.
Great view from the end zone of the action of that serve. And the cage after a good pass from Jarvis. Side out Austin. They're back within 1. And McCage will serve. McCage, a 10th year pro now. Just turned 32. Out of system. The bump set by Montano. There comes Mac Adams trying to better things off the soft block. Eggleston the dig. It was a good one. And O'Neal, over dig O'Neal. Second opportunity. Can they keep it alive? They do. Oh. Now Banks. And Atlanta, a hard-earned point. Wow.
There it is. The fans are in it now. You see Texas making a little mental error right now. They're a little frustrated.
Fairbanks with the flipper. LOVB will serve. Played collegiately, UC Irvine, then University of Oregon. That one wasn't close.
That's a bad miss. You finally got a little momentum. Things are on your side. Just keep that thing in play.
Skinner short serve. Jemerson with the pass. There's Montano off the block and beyond the end line. Side out Atlanta, they lead by 2.
Austin did a really nice job noticing that Jemerson was down on the ground and not available to attack. So they were able to get 4 hands on Montano in the system, but she's hit so high and flat, it's hard to block that ball down.
Smart swing by her. Another good pass by Eggleston. Lunging dig by Pinoy. Montano puts it down, flying through the air.
So that was Bree O'Reilly's miss last time they played. Stuff going to the backside, ending up a little bit tight. So now Asia O'Neal can't get a full swing, go over the top. She's forced to tip. So let's see if she can rein that in a little bit.
Paulo Coco shouting some encouragement, instructions out to his players. Austin out of system. Banks well off the net. Went for the high hands. Didn't get him. 7-3 Atlanta.
So Austin has found themselves in one of those valleys. Really important now. Hey, play your game. Get this side out. Get back in. Keep playing your level.
You chatted with your former college teammate, their head coach Eric Sullivan, earlier this week. He has some national team duties, so Rob Browning, the acting head coach, and he said, hey, we just need to play at a high level like we're capable of more of the time.
Exactly. He wants their team to be great. They know they can have Sports Center highlights. They're amazing at what they can do, but can you do it for longer stretches of time more often?
There's his wingman, Rob Browning, the acting head coach. Eva Hudson. And she has an attack error. And it's 7-6. Banks will serve again. Jefferson on the slide. Goes long.
Again, just like we talked about Austin, that slide's a little bit tight, especially when the pass is off the net a little bit. They have to run a deeper route to get around the setter, and if the ball gets set tight, it's too hard to get on top of it.
In fact, now 7-6 Atlanta. Out of system here. Back row attack by Montano in the block or into the tape, and we're back even. So Austin restoring some order after dominating that first set.
Really self-inflicted on Atlanta's side.
4-0 run. Short serve to Jemerson. Good pass. He takes the swing. Dug by Banks. And then Skinner, Jarvis, and O'Reilly look at it.
The old hubby wife, I got it, you take it.
Yep. And now Hudson serve. That was Skinner flying out of the pipe. Side out Austin. We're even at 8.
They run the big to Skinner probably more efficiently and effectively than any other team in League One volleyball. And they'll do it in system in perfect pass situations as well.
Tama Miyashiro of Salt Lake was talking about how good they were at that. Jemerson on the slide. Good coverage by Hudson. Fairbanks the dump. Read well by Skinner. Here comes Eggleston. Big swing. Wrist away. Sharp angle attack. A kill for Eggleston.
Good choice by Fairbanks to dump. It's wide open, but again, she pushes it too deep. There's so much court, but she throws it all the way back into the middle back defender. Just wrist flick it down to about the 10-foot line. It's wide open.
Asia O'Neal serve. Jemerson kept alive by Eggleston and Skinner. There's a block for Jemerson. And side out Atlanta, we're back even at 9. And Tia will go back and serve. Keep an eye on who she targets. Logan Eggleston receives serve more than any other player in the league, and her positive pass percentage so far in this one, 78%. 7 out of 9. There's Jarvis that time with a good pass, and on the slide, McCage slams it down.
Good rhythm, good flow to that. Keeps it off the net so McCage can get hand on that ball and hit with range. Nice adjustment. And I don't want to jinx it, but Hudson has figured out her passing. She's been pretty amazing in this set.
Yes, she has. Told you better passer than what she'd showed in that first set. That was a tough one right there. Handled it as well as she could. Skinner from that right pin.
Credit the set. Out of system set by a non-setter. That's so important at the professional level, creating quality swings. Banks just aggressively stepped in, took it, hittable ball.
Fairbanks going to Ofebu, and she goes wide. Attack error for the middle. Onya Ofebu, and Atlanta had a lead in this set, but they have let it get away. And Austin, which dominated the first set, they lead 12-9 in the second.
It's now time for the MD Healthcare Fitness Challenge. Here's how it's going to work. We're going to have our 2 contestants start on the sideline and work their way through the MD Healthcare Fitness course. First, they're going to have to hula hoop 10 times before they can move on to the next station. They're going to continue to the jump rope station, where they have to jump rope 10 times. After that, they're going to move to the jumping jack station. Once they complete that, they are going to collect their orange cones next to them. Race back to the starting point, second on the cone. At the starting line, the first contestant to do this wins. Let's check in with Jay Chalet, who is with our contestants.
Thank you so much, John. Listen, I've got Kaylee and I've got Imani, and they go ready to go. Y'all ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! Swing your waist, swing your waist, swing your waist. Okay, anybody out to the jump rope? Can we catch them up? 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. I can't catch you in no time. 10 jumping jacks, knock them out, knock them out. We got some athletes. Oh.
The chemistry is really fun. I feel like we're like one big unit. We talk about all the time, like we kind of have the same emotions every day as a team. So if we're really high, we're all really high, and if we're really low, we're all really low. And so it's kind of nice to have that like camaraderie and that like just everyone's on the same page, but then sometimes it kind of hurts us a little bit. So we're trying to find ways that we can kind of bring out new personalities and kind of like new emotions at different times. But it's fun. You know, it's nice to come in and know that we're all battling for one goal and we're all in it together. And yeah, I just trust every single person on this team.
So many players on their team are Texas X's, 8 of 15 players, former Longhorns. They know each other well. They've integrated the non-Texas Longhorns well, but that can be a danger, can it, Seals?
Yeah, you like the connection, you care about your teammates, but the analogy, if someone falls off the boat, you all can't dive off the boat to go save them. You got to learn to climb back in on yourself, and you support your teammates by still playing your game well and letting them catch up.
There's McCage. Ofebu against McCage. Block for Molly McCage. Fourth block for Lev Austin.
Atlanta's done a lot of great things in this set. They had a few opportunities in the self-inflicted wounds that have let Austin jump out to a little bit of a cushion, but they're playing better volleyball.
Austin, a more veteran team with a ton of weapons. O'Reilly on a combo play. Eggleston putting it down, 14-9 Austin.
Nice overload. Maddie Skinner passes that first ball, doesn't really have an approach, so you know they only have 2 attackers, but they run a shoot set to the middle and a fast go over the top. So it's functionally 2 hitters in the same part of the net. Really hard to stop for one blocker.
Eggleston now 4 kills. O'Reilly serve. Out of system. Adams went for the tip, but no go. So Atlanta had a 7-3 lead in this set. It's a 12-2 run for Austin, and Paulo Coco takes the timeout.
Not a great series right there. Good start, but it's those self-inflicted wounds, like I've said a couple times. They're in a position to do something great. If you can just play Austin tight, force them to play volleyball, being in a tight match, maybe up 1 or 2, hey, funky things can happen. But when they have this 6-point cushion, you're just letting them run away from it early.
Talk about Atlanta being a young team with Kelsey Cook, last year's League Player of the Year, out because she's expected to give birth to her first child. And Tessa Grubbs out with a season-ending injury. So 4 of their 7 starters early in their career. Eva Hudson in her first year. Fairbanks and Ofebu in their second. And Magdalena Ilasheva had been starting. She is in her 3rd year. Tia Jemerson starting in her place right now, relatively early in her career, in her 5th year. And there is Hudson, the rookie.
Yeah, really turned her passing around in this set, but then kind of shanked the last 2 as she finds herself on the bench again.
Talking with Ella Mae Powell. Backup setter, Montano. This one back for Atlanta. They need a lot more than that. Montano 8 kills, 6 attack errors, 21 swings. She has triple the attack errors she had in the entire match in Houston a couple of days ago, and she had 26 kills. Good work by Eggleston.
Not a great swing, little high, kind of a paintbrush spike. We all know the paintbrush is really hard to dig because you get that backspin on the ball and it falls in front of the defense. That pass by San Giacomo.
Montano again, down the line. Jarvis couldn't dig it. I don't know who could. Side out Atlanta, 16-11.
It's a good salvage, a little bit out of whack. Finally get bumps or a handset back in a good hitting zone, and that's what we saw last Thursday. Just her bombing balls on the right side.
Eggleston's pass a good one on a really tough serve, and Skinner tools the block. Side out Austin. They maintain command here in this second set.
If you were able to see this play here in this quality of set where it goes just above the top of the antenna but fast, it allows Skinner to be an athlete. Last time they played that same set was ending up on the net and way too low.
And she can touch 11 feet. She is very much able to dunk a basketball. Good defensive work for Austin. O'Reilly, O'Neal, oh my.
You just can't give those situations to an athletic team like Austin. Originally it was the passing causing the issues. Now there's a lot of confusion plays. Whose ball is this? They're not creating quality hitting situations.
18-12 Austin. Atlanta again had won 3 straight after dropping 4 consecutive matches. They started 1-1, they dropped 4 in a row. Since then wins at Madison in 3 sets, against Nebraska 8 days ago at the Love Classic in 3 sets, and then Thursday at Houston in 4. This is their first home match since January 28th. Magdalena Halasheva with the service error. They trade service errors, 19-12 Austin.
I'll tell you what, this is making for a very boring zombie movie. Zombie's got to stand up and start walking again. They're just laying down.
Jemerson, 19-13. Austin doesn't mind trading side outs right now. See how much pressure they can put on Love Austin. Montano going to be at the service line, but she comes out in favor of Ella Mae Powell. Powell, the third-year pro out of the University of Washington. Recruited to Washington by Keegan Cook. Told me he made many, many trips to Fayetteville to show his commitment to Powell. She had a great career at UW. Banks went for the hands and didn't get him. 19-14.
Well, at least I know why I didn't get her recruiting. I only went out there once.
Only once, yeah.
No, he went out multiple times.
He did.
Served it.
He said he spent many, many hours on planes heading to Arkansas. Off speed out of the back row by Skinner. Tipped by DeHogue. San Giacomo, big swing. Dug by Banks. Eggleston setting Banks. Dug by Adams. DeHogue also out of the University of Washington. The overdig back at her. Off speed from San Giacomo and gets it done. 19-15. Zombie is twitching a little bit.
They're dragging that foot. They're out of the fire. They're slowly coming back. At 19-15 is not insurmountable. They can rattle one more here. Now start getting a little tight. Put some pressure on Austin.
A couple of days ago, they were down 21-15 and won the first set. Also were down 18-11 in that one against Houston. Skinner trying to maintain order for Austin. 20-15. Love Austin.
Austin right now reminds me of just like Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. Not fancy, but just really, really quality and good. They're not pushing speed on their offense. They don't need to do too much offensively. They got enough big, powerful hitters. Just run a precise, simple offense.
Nothing wrong with simple. Eggleston tools the block. 21-15. Austin leads it. Same score by which Atlanta trailed in that first set 2 days ago in Houston. In fact, there was no touch on that block, so point goes to Atlanta, and they're within 4 instead of 6. Eggleston. Here comes DeHogue. DeHogue gets him back within 3. So what looked like it was going to be 6 became 4, and now it's 3.
And remember, Austin's played the majority of this match with a 6, 7, 8 point lead. Now you're forcing them to execute only up 3. It's a different feel.
Get him thinking a little bit. San Giacomo serve. Jarvis's pass on the dime. O'Reilly going to O'Neal. And Austin back up by 4.
So good. She hits it at such a high contact point and drives that ball so far across court. There's no way one blocker's going to stop that.
Excellent athlete, Asia O'Neal. Very much a leader of the Black Lives Matter movement. Campus, University of Texas, making her father very proud. There's Carly DeHoe. DeHoe getting action at opposite with Tessa Grubbs out for the year with an injury. So when they use the double sub, she comes in to replace the starter Montano. Bea Negrati in to serve and play some defense. Atlanta back within 3. Hoping to go on a run with Negrati at the service line. Opponents usually insist him when she serves, as they are here. On the slide, McCage, bit of a paintbrush, dug by San Giacomo. Mac Adams, Jarvis digs it. Set by Banks, swing by Eggleston, off the block and down. Yehelasheva on the block. Back within 2.
I mean, such a great high swing. The fact that the ball gets blocked to the perimeter of the court. Normally your team's going to cover that ball. There's nothing wrong with that swing. But good hand placement by Yehelasheva. That's kind of all she could do blocking-wise.
We talked about LMA Powell and Carly DeHoe playing for Washington. Yehelasheva played for rival Washington State. So 3 of the players on the floor for Atlanta right now played collegiately in the state of Washington. And now that zombie is starting to get a little bit closer, a little more intimidating, back within 2.
This is the nervous part of the movie. This is the part you don't like, that feel. But yeah, this is exactly what they did against Houston, just slowly coming back. And again, it's not like they've done something amazing. You don't remember these fantastic dynamic plays they've made to make this comeback. It's just this slow, steady progression. They just don't disappear, winning some of these long rallies.
Atlanta making a habit out of this. See if they can finish the job here and even this up at a set apiece. They were behind 20-16, now 21-19. And Negrati will serve again. 11th year pro out of Italy. Options for O'Reilly. She goes to Eggleston. Overhand dig by Powell. Swing for Adams. Tools the block. And it's a 1-point set.
Do you hear what I hear?
Uh-huh. And I'm scared.
Here it is.
You're scaring me, Seals.
Here it is.
Atlanta scaring Austin. The zombie has indeed awakened. Now, can they even this one up? Eggleston's pass. Joust at the net. DeHoe evens it up at 21.
I'm really happy that Atlanta scored that ball because it was a lift by Molly McCage, but she had her back to the referee so they couldn't see it. That would have been a travesty to not have won that rally.
O'Reilly going to Eggleston again. And it goes wide, and would you look at this? The zombie has the lead.
Ooh. It is. We saw them do this all night on Thursday. No, as you said, no scar tissue. They just keep playing.
You'd rather win it without dying first. Again, a good pass. Again, Eggleston. Sent down by Mac Adams. Right place, right time. Atlanta by 2. Timeout, Austin. Did they take a timeout? Thought I heard the buzzer for a timeout. All right, no timeout taken by Austin. Down by 2. Let's see.
Did they go double sub for Austin?
Yeah, double sub in. That was what the buzzer was about, and it's an ace for Negrati. And lo and behold, it is set point for Atlanta. They right now are on an 8-1 run. Big smiles for Negrati, and why not?
What a crazy sport, huh?
Love it. Off speed from Kat Bell. Mac Adams. Diving dig by Carly Lloyd. Bell with a wrist away. Austin stays alive in this set. 24-22. Kat Bell will go back and serve, playing in just her third match this year. Now she's going to come out. Somebody else will come in and serve. She's their DJ in the locker room. They say, Kat Bell on aux. That's what the cool kids say. If you're in charge of the music,
I never
you're
had
on
cool
aux.
kids in my band. The cool kids didn't want to come in my band. I always got the freshmen that were on lowest on the totem pole. They were my favorites anyway. All right, 3-hitter rotation for Atlanta here. Got to look at potentially Mac Adams on the outside.
Can they get a quality pass in this set right now? Get the first ball. And it's Adams off speed. Opportunity here to pull within one. Jarvis the set. Skinner tools the block, and Austin. No, she didn't. It went wide. And Atlanta wins the second set. What a comeback. The zombie lives.
I am not surprised.
Paulo Coco's team rises from the ashes again. Down 2016, they take the second.
If there has to be one song that needs to be played at HBCU night on the campus tonight, it would be Flex Your Body.
I'm so ATL.
We gotta play Let Me Keep Up.
You know, we always go slide surf because we ain't that bad. Let me slide surf.
All right, listen, he says swag surf, so it's only right we do it like this. Atlanta, I need y'all to stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. We got FLY in the building. Go ahead, Tammy.
Whoa. Atlanta, make some noise! Hey, man, I got that swag. Man, I got that swag. My head makes it my band. My head makes it my band. You know I'm poppin' tag. You know I'm poppin' tag. Come in, I got that swag. Come in, I got that swag. Man, I got that swag. My head makes it my band. You know I'm poppin' tag. I got that swag. And what we serve is swag. I'm on the planet. He pulled over my body. He got a bag. Girl, Versace in the crib. My body. He ain't no swag. Swag, 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 swag. I feel like this dessert. It on patrol. Yeah, I'm gone. Young purple by the zone. Yeah, it's fucking strong. And you know I'm on 'cause I'm swag, 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 swag. I'm going out in the club with a pocket full of band. Stupid friends like I'm right up in the rain. Swag super cool, blowing strong like a fan. And my chain shining hard. They take care of my everything. Oh, we be so far. 'Cause it's so out this big. Keep the streets swaying. You can call me Mr. Big. Bottles in my hand, put it down till I can't go.
And this is what veteran volleyball looks like. Hitting situation, not great, can't get a swing. Just keep it in play. Take the setter out of system, notices joust, pulls her hands away. Skinner going in, knowing she's going to wipe the ball off the hands for an easy kill. Max Adams shows her hands and then rips them away last minute.
What a fantastic veteran player. Once considered an underdog, let's learn more about Mackenzie Adams.
I was kind of always an underdog, even when people would say, you're not going to make it here, you're not going to make it there. Well, I love proving people wrong. I think that's what pushed me. I wanted to be a professional athlete since I was young. Even on the tough days, it's still like 100 times better than doing anything else. I've really enjoyed life here in Atlanta. It's cool to be out of Texas, actually, you know, and getting to experience a different type of life, a different type of culture. And what I love about Atlanta is like they love who they are. You can feel that in the air. It just makes you like embrace a little bit more of yourself. Some people like to double fizz beers. I just double pet dogs. I know, you're so jealous. It's okay. I got his little paw print right here. He has been my ride or die. He has helped me through some of the toughest times in life. I actually get threatened by my teammates if I don't bring him in. Like, I'll walk in the door and they're like, "Where's Ollie?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, nice to see you too. Thank you, yeah." I really love our team. I think we got a lot of good personalities and a lot of good people that always want the best, not only for you as a player, but like for you as a person. That's super special. That's hard to find. We have a lot of potential. I think once we get our groove back, we'll be coming out with a trophy, hopefully.
She's proven some people wrong.
I just love the fact she's an All-American from a small school, started in a lower-level team in Germany, and worked her way up to the pinnacle of professional volleyball. It's inspiring.
You kind of liken it to Jerry Rice, right?
Exactly. Jerry Rice, you know, Mississippi Valley State. She goes to University of Texas, San Antonio. Last year, she was the Love Outside Hitter of the Year. So it just shows you don't have to be a four-year All-American to make it.
So we saw the zombie apocalypse a couple of days ago. Now we got the sequel.
They're back. You know, we saw this 2 sets when they played on Thursday night, and down 18-11. No wind in the sails, and somehow able to just keep plodding along. It's really, really fascinating to see.
They would end up winning that one in 4. Now Sanjia Como, dug by Banks. Let's see if Austin can respond. Eggleston tried to push it against the block and didn't get it. And it's 1-0 Atlanta here in the 3rd.
Notice that Atlanta's starting in their double sub. So they started the set with LMA Powell in the back row and just continuing where they left off.
Powell into Hogue. Molly McCage, diving dig by Powell. Swing for Sanjia Como, hard angle attack, and she got it. And Love Atlanta is rolling.
Low set, great dig. Even this wasn't a perfect set, a little bit far off the net, which just pops that thing cross court.
Tia Jemerson serve. Very tight to the net. Too tight to the net, in fact.
So this is what Coach Sullivan was talking about. The fact that there's some disappointment, they don't have wind in the sail, things aren't going great, and you can see it. And it's happened enough times during the year, it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're feeling it now, and it's not a great visceral sensation for them.
No question about Austin's talent. McCage with a kill. Austin's first point here in this 3rd set.
And here's where winning that first set 25-13 does not help them. That false sense of security, and now they're in the trenches.
Almost get back on your heels a little bit.
Yeah, it's just not real.
Big heavy left arm for Carly DeHogue. One former Washington Husky teeing up another, although they were not teammates there.
And guess what? It's not a double sub anymore. These are their starters.
Yep.
They're going to a 5-1 with LMA Powell setting and DeHogue staying as the opposite.
Powell's played in 22 of 34 sets heading into this one. DeHogue just 7 of 34. And Thursday at Houston was DeHogue's first action in 6 matches. Had 4 kills without an attack error and 8 swings, and now she serves. Banks. Off the block and out of bounds. Maddie Banks gets the side out for Austin.
And again for Austin, just settle back into what you do. We called it just good Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. Keep it simple. Good quality set your hitters. Run your offense. Play your game. It's enough. You don't need to start pushing here.
Pour a little salt into the vanilla there. 5-2 Atlanta. Diving play by Jarvis on the pass, and O'Neal goes long. 6-2 Atlanta. Completely different teams than that first set. Skinner. Good coverage by Jarvis. Banks rolls one over and goes long. 7-2 Atlanta.
It just doesn't seem like Austin has. Everyone can have fun when you're winning, but they kind of lose that joy when things aren't going well. You can still love playing, but I think there's this expectation because their mountain peak is so high because how the level they can play at. When they're not at that peak, I just feel like there's a sense of disappointment, and you can't play disappointed. I've said it a few times over the weekend. You can play bad volleyball and still be just fine. But when that energy shifts and things aren't feeling great, it's that feel that gets you out of whack.
Carly Lloyd, bronze medalist the Rio Games in 2016. In the match at setter, Kat Bell has checked in at opposite. And Mac Adams putting Atlanta up 8-2. Talking about spooky movies, it's as if different aliens have entered Austin's bodies. I mean, what's going on here?
It could be alien. Now they're infected with the virus. They don't know, but the virus is working through them.
How about the ace for a 9-2 lead? Julia Sangiacomo, her third ace this year. 9-2 Atlanta. Is this a sign of what Logan Eggleston was talking about when things get low with some of the team, it gets low with the entire team?
I think so, and I think that's natural for everybody. I think it's different. If one person's struggling, that can pull a lot of people down. It looks like all of them are struggling, so it's just not a great feel on the court right now.
DJ Cat with the serve. Adams. Jarvis couldn't dig it. Side out Atlanta and a commanding lead.
Beautiful connection between LMA and Adams there on the outside. Adams has a tendency to run in really early. So sometimes she can pre-run in over the ball. That time she slowed down a little bit and let the ball get to her.
Elashevaz serve. Good pass by Bailey Miller. O'Neal on the slide. DeHogue after the dig has a swing. All smiles for Carly DeHogue. 11-3 Atlanta.
What they're doing great is getting soft blocking hands up. So they've deflected almost all of Austin's swings to get a quality control dig and allow their setter to get them back in system.
Miller, good pass there, and Banks off the block and out of bounds. 11-4 Atlanta. Bailey Miller getting some run here. We saw her serve a few times. Last three matches, Bailey Miller's pro debut. Maddie Banks will serve for Austin. Powell went for the dump. Read well by Lloyd. Kept alive by Adams. Adams taking a swing. Good coverage by Sangiacomo off the block. And Atlanta gets the point. Hard earned. What a play by Sangiacomo.
That is a soul-crushing point for Atlanta right there.
Yes, it is. Instead of a 6-point deficit, it is an 8-point deficit. League One Volleyball is presented by Skims, the official loungewear, intimates, and sleepwear partner of Love. League One volleyball for youth, for pro, for life. So many young players grew up not even knowing that pro volleyball was an option. And now they know. Go to LOVB.com/clubs. 99 League One volleyball clubs and counting across the nation. More than 2,000 teams. Great partnership between Love and the Triple Crown Tournament in Kansas City. Run back-to-back years now in conjunction with the Love Classic. Side out Austin. 12-5 Atlanta. Bailey Miller, the rookie out of Arizona State. Big 12 champ with ASU last fall. 3.3 kills per set. Jemerson getting the side out for Atlanta. 13-5 Love Atlanta. It's a talented team. Young team, but talented.
Young team for sure. And just the fact LMA Powell coming in originally in a double sub when they were down 7-8 points. They get the momentum back, gets to start this game, and she's running the offense. There's no drop off.
She going to Wally Pip Fairbanks out of there? Like Fairbanks did last year when she came on. 13-6. Atlanta leads it. And Carly Lloyd will serve. Pinoy's pass on the dime. Combo play. Cross body. Carly DeHove.
That's a monster swing. And it's always nice when you see the two people that usually are in that double sub together usually have a great connection, because in practice all week they're on the B side.
And that one goes wide from Miller. Atlanta continues their run.
Unfortunate. Good hitting situation, quality pass, one-on-one situation, and just missed the court.
But I wonder if there's nerves in there for the rookie. Kat Bell.
You see Coach Coco telling his blockers, you got to be inside on that. They have Kat Bell scouted as a cross-court hitter, so need to take that away and force her to swing line.
That's her third kill without an attack error in 4 swings. Playing in just her 3rd match this year. The 11th year pro out of Mesquite, Texas. Nearly an overpass. Pancake by Jarvis to keep it alive on the tip from San Giacomo. And the tip from Bell. Smart play.
That was a must-win point for Austin right there. Scramble play. They did make a good defensive play on the pancake, but if they didn't get that, there could have been a ton of disappointment again.
Trying to awaken from the dead themselves. Ace for Miller. Her 2nd service ace this year.
And Austin has experience in this. You know, we keep saying they're disappointed, but they've played a lot of matches like this where all of a sudden things aren't going well. So they know how to bounce back from this.
Consecutive aces. Miller came into this match with 1 service ace as a pro, and now she has consecutive. She had .33 service aces per set as a senior last fall at ASU. Pretty good number. 39 service aces, 55 service errors. Timeout taken by Atlanta as Austin's creep back within 5. Well, now they've got Atlanta on the run a bit.
And you got both teams using their backup setter. They're almost both going to their double sub as their offense now. I think both teams were probably frustrated as far as not executing on the offensive side, so they stuck with what was working, which was that double sub. So Carly Lloyd stays in, Kat Bell stays in, and they're not worried about putting other setters and oppos back in.
Kat Bell was a national champ with Texas way back in 2012. 3-0 sweep of Oregon in the title match. There she is. Hometown of Mesquite, Texas, just east of downtown Dallas.
Don't tell anybody. When UCLA won the title in 2011, she got hurt that season. So when we met them in the Elite 8, she was not playing. That could have been a huge factor. But again, don't tell anybody.
I'll keep it just to myself.
Just between us.
Rich Burke along with Michael Seeley, who was the head coach of UCLA when they won the title in 2011. One of just 19 people to have coached a Division I women's volleyball team to a national championship. And you also won one as a player with UCLA. I wonder how many of the 19 who have coached national champions on the women's side have also been a player that won a national championship.
I believe it's just me and the Penn State coach from last year.
Oh, wow.
Although Dave Shoji likes to remind me he did too, but there just wasn't NCAA volleyball back then.
Oh, right. Sangiacomo with a hard angle attack.
That was a must-have swing. Pass a little bit tight. LMA Powell does a great job going high, reaching up to get hands on that ball. Is able to get that all the way to the outside. Had to have that point.
Katie Schumacher-Colley, also the first woman to coach a women's national championship. Penn State 2024. Carly Lloyd teeing up Kat Bell. Off the block. Bailey Miller was there. This time the tip by Banks. Pinoy sending it back over. Diving play by Adams. Off speed from Sangiacomo. Harder and point for both sides. DeHogue back at her. Foot volley by LMA Powell. Austin gets the point. 16-12 Atlanta.
Yeah, strange choice by Pinoy in the middle of that rally to try to shoot it over, be cagey to shoot it in the right back in the middle of the rally.
Looks good if it works.
If it works, you look like you're brilliant. At that point, maybe just slow it down, nice high pass, let your setter run the offense.
I think McCage was going for a short serve, but didn't get the contact she wanted.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks like she jumped early, mistimed it, almost had a paintbrush serve.
Yeah, and she comes out. 17-12 Atlanta. Sangiacomo targeting Bailey Miller, who had a good pass. Off speed from Banks. Lunging play by Adams, kept alive by DeHogue. Free ball coming for Carly Lloyd. She's got Bell, O'Neal, and Banks. It was O'Neal on the slide. Adams tools the block. That's a missed opportunity.
That's big for Atlanta. LMA Powell, good quality, easy dig. Lets Pinoy set up actually a fast insist the ball to Adams, which she prefers, and is able to go attack that block in the seam.
Rolls over the top of the tape, and it's an ace for Sangiacomo.
I mean, we know that volleyball is a momentum sport, but the momentum shifts in this match are so glaring. You can feel the wind just get sucked out of teams, and the other team just start thriving. It's such a big, aggressive shift back and forth with these teams.
A couple of young players with aces. Sangiacomo has a pair, doubling her total for the year. Second-year player out of Northwestern. A timeout taken by Austin. They're down by 7. Rob Browning in charge with Eric Sullivan with U.S. national team duties, and he wants another win.
Yeah, just trying to keep him focused. He's going to be very mild-mannered. Just say, hey, X, Y, and Z, let's do this, this, and this. Nothing to get emotional about.
And look at O'Reilly talking with Lloyd.
Yeah, from that end zone, you're able to see so much of what's going on. So a lot of times the backup setter will give info to the setter and what she sees.
Yeah, O'Reilly doing most of the talking there.
And that's something the women's national team started doing a lot. They'd have these mini position groups during timeouts where they would talk amongst themselves before coaches would have access to them.
Both talented setters. Carly Lloyd, her 15th year, and Bria O'Reilly, her 7th year. Coaching staff saying they have similar styles, doesn't require a lot of adjustment. And there's O'Neal getting the side out for Austin. They're down by 6. And Kat Bell will serve. Bell played professionally in South Korea, the Philippines, Puerto Rico prior to the U.S. Yehelasheva, side out Atlanta. They maintain command.
That was a very mindful play. They serve her short, hoping it's going to disrupt her route. She passes it perfectly, calm and patiently gets into her slide route, and they score in that one-on-one situation.
Magdalena Yehelasheva out of Czechia and Washington State. Best player in WSU history, chatting with Paulo Coco, one of the best in the Pac-12. Matter of fact, 4-time ABC All-American. The NCAA rally scoring career leader in blocks, 769. She did benefit from a 5th year. There's a block by Jemerson, 21-13 Atlanta.
And Negretti coming in, they went on the big run when she came in that second set. I believe it was like an 8 or 9 to 1 run. Again, this causes a bad pass. They're out of system.
The Zombie is running roughshod.
I don't think Zombies can be in the lead. They got to be something else now.
Maybe the Zombie's the hero of this one. Mistake for O'Neal.
That's always a hard set to connect on when you run the slide and the setter has to come off the net, because the middle's route now comes deeper. So when you're running a deep route and the set goes tight, it's too hard to play catch up all the way to the net.
Saw that with Love Madisen a few days back. Integrati short serve. Miller good pass. And Leah Hardiman getting a kill. Hardiman getting into the act. She played just 6 of 49 sets heading into this match and hadn't played in the last 5 matches at all. But Rob Browning seeking some answers. And now Hardiman will go back and serve. 9th year pro out of Coastal Carolina University. 2014 to 2017. Played professionally in Italy and Greece. Powell going to Adams. Mackenzie Adams. The Mac attack.
When she's in sync, she's a hard out. She has such a high contact point. Drives that ball so deep. That high seam between setter's hands and middle trying to close.
And isn't it interesting that after the 26 kills earlier in the week, Ivani Montano hadn't been a factor the last couple of sets. Pinoy with the set. Here comes DeHogue in there in Montano's place, and she tools the block. And it's set point for Atlanta. They look like they were going to go quietly into the night after they dropped the first set. Austin had a lead in the second, 18-11, and in later 2016. But Atlanta came back to win it. O'Neal, dug by Negrati. Powell, teeing up Adams off speed that time. Tried to change things up. One-hand diving dig by Negrati, sent over by Jemerson. Hardiman finds the back line. Her second kill. Tough to bide your time waiting to get an opportunity, but she's got that here.
Yeah, absolutely. And her job is, it's not to come back and win this set, just slow things down, make some good quality plays. You just got to remember which the level you can play at. Make a few good plays at the end of the set, continue that into the fourth.
Powell going to Jemerson. Timing wasn't there between the two. Miller high in the air, going for high hands, and didn't get him. And Atlanta, lo and behold, after getting dominated in the first set and trailing big in the second, they came from behind to win it. They win the third, and they're going to try to close it out in 4.
Matches up at Love, Salt Lake City. First serve is at 3 p.m. Tickets are still available at Ticketmaster.com or at LOVB.com/tickets-central.
Fans, they have been lit this whole match. Let's give it up one more time for the Clark Atlanta University Mighty Marching Panthers.
It is HBCU Day here in Atlanta, and the mighty Marching Panthers out of Clark Atlanta University are here helping this crowd and this team. Hey, it's time for Moments of Confidence presented by Skims.
LMA Powell, Atlanta gets blown out in the first. They're getting smashed in the second. Gets thrown in as a double sub in the second set. They go on a 9-1 run, come back, win the set. Coach Coco decides, well, if they're so good then, let's leave them in that starting role. She starts the third set and just runs such an efficient offense. And my question is, like, how many first-team reps is she getting during the week? That's an unbelievable thing to come in, setting these hitters. She's probably not setting that often.
Full credit to Paulo Coco for pulling those levers.
Absolutely. That's just one of those gut things. Just you feel like you know what you should do.
LMA Powell, no slouch, won silver with Team USA in 2024 at the Norseca Pan Am Cup. Remember the last time these two teams played, Rachel Fairbanks, the starting setter, had 63 assists, a league record. Atlanta takes the first point of the fourth set, and Powell will serve again. LMA Powell, excellent at the service line, holds the University of Washington career record for service aces, and also had the most digs among non-liberos.
Austin, too, sticking with that same roster with Carly Lloyd starting. So it was their double sub that they're sticking with as their primary attackers now.
So you have a number of players on the court who typically don't get a lot of playing time with Austin. There's one of them, Leah Hardiman.
Yeah,
there's another Bailey Miller.
We thought that they were going to be placeholders just because they were losing so badly. Looks like they're going with them.
Kat Bell and Carly Lloyd as well. Powell. DeHogue, dug by Miller. Lloyd going to Bella Bergmark. Bergmark getting her first playing time off the soft block. Kotoye Inoue wearing the libero jersey now instead of Zoe Jarvis. First time she's worn it in some time. There's a block for Atlanta. They take a 2-1 lead. For Austin, rather, they take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Browning went with the sub by committee. Just, if everyone's not playing great, let's yank them all and throw in that whole second team.
Complete line change. By the way, how about USA Hockey and Canada in the gold medal game?
Like I said earlier, this is not new territory. I know Austin's frustrated they're not playing a high level, but they've done this all season long, pushed sets and matches to 5 sets and won the match. So this is not unheard of for them. They do have some resiliency in that way.
Hardiman gets her second kill. And Austin up 4-1. Congrats to USA Hockey winning their first gold in 46 years. The Miracle on Ice 46 years ago today. And they went on the overtime goal by Jack Hughes. And there's Mackenzie Adams. Atlanta back within 2. Adams will go back and serve. She has 9 kills, although 6 attack errors in 30 swings, hitting just 100. Hardiman, hard angle attack. Didn't get the hands and went wide. 4-3 Austin.
A little bit out of system, a little bit off the net. It's an aggressive swing, but I always call that a yellow light situation because it's not perfect. You don't want to make a whole lot of errors in yellow light situations.
Yeah, early on in my career, Holly McPeak impressed upon me that sometimes you go for it and sometimes you just keep the ball alive.
Yeah, it's like a stoplight. If it's green, you got to go. If it's yellow, you got to think your way through it. If it's red, hey, just keep it in play.
Mackenzie Adams.
Serve into that, Racine.
That's her first service ace of the day. Asia O'Neal back in. And Bergmark will serve. Bella Bergmark, third-year pro out of the University of Texas. Her mom, Heidi, for many years serving the community in the leadership of the San Francisco Fire Department. Tia Jemerson evens it up at 5.
That's a nice run. She's had some kills. This is the first really strong hand-on ball contact. They were in the shoot set a little bit away. As O'Neal shifts over to get in front of it, opens up the cross court.
Miller's pass on the dime. O'Neal against the block of Yehelasheva and DeHogue. And Kat Bell goes wide. In fact, a net violation. Ball was in, but it was a net violation on Austin. Love Atlanta trying to win their 4th consecutive after a 4-match losing streak. And doing so without their best player, Tessa Grubbs. Out for the year with the ankle injury. Second swing of the point by Hardiman. Options for Powell. She goes to DeHogue. Dug by Lloyd. Set by Miller. Swing by Hardiman. Digging the dime from Adams. Outside San Giacomo. Over dig by Hardiman. DeHogue. Lloyd. And it's out of bounds. 7-5 Atlanta. Carly DeHogue, heavy left arm.
Yeah, Hardiman's taken some great swings. Unfortunately, they keep setting her so far off the net. She doesn't have access to anything more than that cross court. I think if you can get her going, you just get her a little more quality sets tighter to the net.
DeHogue now 9 kills. Jimerson teeing up DeHogue with another kill. Make it 10 for Carly DeHogue.
Great play on that dig. That's the ball that normally Libero's in there because Jimerson's serving. She has to set that second ball and sets this perfect out-of-system ball so the opposites can score.
Talk about biding your time. She was buried as the 3rd string opposite before Tessa Grubbs got hurt. And then Montano, DeHogue watched Montano, I'm sure happily so, have a great match a couple of days ago. And now it's DeHogue out there who is shining. Her previous high in kills this year, matter of fact, her only 4 kills came on February 19th. That was 3 days ago against Houston.
And DeHogue's dangerous because she's rangy, can hit the whole fan from sharp cross court to line, but a lefty. And if you're Austin, if you don't have a left-handed hitter in your gym, you don't get to practice against it.
Right. Combo play, could have gone to Yehelasheva. Instead they go to DeHogue. Could have gone to the Coug, they went to the Husky. And it's 9-6 Atlanta. She has more than doubled her previous high in kills. On the slide, O'Neal, covered up by Lloyd. Hardiman rolls one over.
That's frustrating for Atlanta. You put them in a situation where Hardiman gets an out-of-system set that's not great, was not a great set by Kat Bell, and for her to be able from the 10-foot line to just snap it to the floor, pretty frustrating for Coach Coco right there.
Hardiman will serve. That's her 4th kill in 8 swings. Bell has 5 kills in 10 swings. Come off the bench to both do well. Swing by Lloyd. Diving play by Miller. Lloyd. The back set to Hardiman.
Oh, bad choice.
In fact, it's Bell. Bell again. Off the block. And out of bounds.
Front row attacker there. If something is so out of system where all LMA Pal can do is get bumps at it, get it to your front row hitter. Just put it tight, let them tip, let them recycle instead of DeHogue on the right side.
Live to see another time with the ball on your side of the net.
Got to play the field position game.
Yehelasheva on the slide. Important side out for Atlanta. Magdalena Yehelasheva won the ABCA Freshman of the Year award in 2019, and all she did after that was continue to work hard to get better. Diving play, effort by DeHogue, and Bailey Miller doing the job. Side out Austin, 10-9 Atlanta. And now Asia O'Neal will serve. This happening with McCage on the bench, with Eggleston on the bench.
Skinner on the bench.
O'Reilly on the bench. Yeah, Skinner as well. DeHogue. Dug by Hardiman. Kat Bell high in the air. Rejected. Mackenzie Adams. 11-9 Atlanta.
That's a big good block with Adam and Yehelasheva next to each other. Jehoshaphat is just so good at waiting, reading, closing. Doesn't quite close, but Adams just gets straight over the net.
It was, I think, Yehalashev's presence that
Oh, for sure.
made Bell go that direction. Miller. Bailey Miller getting some run here. Saw her as a serving specialist a few days ago.
Tell you what, she hits a heavy ball. She's been really important for that Arizona State run they've had in the last couple seasons.
Big 12 champs, 2 seed in the NCAA tournament this year. Adams going for the high hands and didn't get him. Would you look at this? We are even at 11.
Jimerson passes that ball, then hits the floor. So now she's not available to attack, which means Austin's blockers can both get in front of Mackenzie Adams and take away that seam she likes to hit so much.
Carly Lloyd, the veteran, 15th year pro. Service error. 12-11 Atlanta. What a battle today. 4th regular season meeting of the year between these two. Atlanta leading 2-1, leading 12-11.
Looks like scouting report for Austin going from survive to thrive. You know, they're not thriving. They're definitely surviving right now, but they've been in this situation before. They've gone 5 sets when they weren't playing great. And Atlanta keep on keeping on, and that's kind of that zombie mentality of they just keep going. And they're a young team, and they do it in different ways. And even when they're not on the top of their game, they just keep plodding along, which keeps them in a lot of matches.
To repeat in their match, their victory in Houston a couple of days ago, they trailed it 18-11 in the first, and later in the first 21-15. They won the first set. They trailed it 18-13 in the third. They won the third set. In this one, second set, down 1-0, they trailed it 18-11, later 20-16. They won it. And now they're 13 points away from winning the match. Adams, dug by Hardiman, Lloyd. Teeing up Bailey Miller. Bailey Miller finds a hole in the block.
Deceptive little play right there where she jumped, hung in the air, and on her way down, then tipped the ball. So the blocker was falling with her, and they're no longer over the net. Small nuance, but really important for more range.
Regardless of what happens in this one, players like Miller are gaining some confidence at the pro level. And they got veterans like Hardiman and Bell getting an opportunity, knowing they can still do it. Side out Atlanta in a 13-12 lead. Julia Sangiacomo.
And you're letting your studs know, like, hey, sometimes it's not acceptable. And sometimes if we're not given the effort we need to get, we'll just go somewhere else.
It was Bobby Knight who said the best way to motivate an athlete is to put him on the bench. Something about the backside telling the brain, and brain telling the body you better do something differently. Wrist away for Mac Adams. Attack error on her out of the back row. We're even at 13.
Yeah, that tip play caused a lot of confusion on the Atlanta side, and that was almost the only thing available to swing was that big play.
Bella Bergmark to serve for Love Austin. Third-year pro, overseas stops in Puerto Rico and France. LMA Powell on the combo play, and Carla DeHoe going sharp angle to avoid that block.
That's called 2-2. She hits it in area 2 and smashes it cross court to their area 2.
Anoa's pass is a good one. O'Neal gets the kill as a result. Side out Austin.
As Asia O'Neal gets into the front row here, she goes across the line of the front row. If you can get her a few more swings and maybe total 3 points as she goes across the front row, that's good output for her.
Keep an eye on. Powell going to DeHoe. And Lloyd all the way on the other side of the net as Bell couldn't dig it. Side out Atlanta. They're trading side outs right now, 15-14, Love Atlanta.
And DeHoe, like Jordan Thompson, can hit that ball so sharp. And if the block wants to move in to take that away, they automatically have to open up the line.
DeHoe at the service line for the first time this year. And Hardiman gets her off the service line.
That could be one of her only in-system swings, and you see why she's in League One volleyball. Beautiful set, fast set to the outside. If they can be in system with her, definitely can use it.
DeHoe got out a couple of serves earlier in this match, but had not been at the service line this year prior to today. Bailey Miller going toward the back line. Didn't get it, didn't get the hand. Side out Atlanta. Back in front 16-15. All right. They keep trading side outs. Who's going to take charge here?
I can't tell if this match is going to come down to who makes the great play or who doesn't make the bad play. I think in the next few plays here, if someone makes one of those disappointing errors, it could suck the wind out of their sails.
Good pass by Anoa'i, and Bailey Miller with a wrist away tools the block. We're back even at 16.
Just got to tip your hat to that swing.
Miller with 6 kills and a dozen swings, 3 attack errors. Asia O'Neal will serve. Outside Adams. Mac Adams goes wide, and now it's Austin with a 17-16 lead.
She puts herself in trouble a little bit too often when she gets in too early, doesn't really wait for the set to develop. When she's in early and has a little bit more problems with that connection.
9 kills and 9 attack errors, and now the ace for Asia O'Neal. So Adams hitting 0-0. O'Neal coming up with an ace, and Austin closing in on getting the Reading to the red zone first at 20 points. Ivana Montano coming back in for Atlanta.
Going back to their starting lineup, he had a double sub.
Fairbanks back in, and Beatrice Negrati comes in to pass and play some defense. And O'Neal coming off the ace will serve again. Paulo Coco pulling some more levers, and it's Montano with a wrist away. Coming off the bench, saying, hey, I'm here too.
And that's the beauty of it. Slow start, not playing as well as she did the night before. But if you can mentally stay in there and get an opportunity like this, still win this match for your team.
Montano's 11th kill, 24 swings, 6 attack errors. Lloyd going to Miller, and there's a block for Love Atlanta. They're back even at 18. Montano and Jimerson.
I'm assuming Jimerson's the one that blocked the ball because she flexed. No, she did the flex for her teammate. Great fastball to the outside. Blockers got their hands over.
Elasheva serve, and it's an ace. And suddenly, Atlanta back in front.
Austin had momentum for just a flash. Hitting error by Adams, service ace by O'Neal. They had the wind in their sail, and all of a sudden it's flipped.
Naya Elasheva, who at age 15 was already playing professionally in her native Czechia.
Got to score this.
Adams Off the block and out of bounds. Hadn't been Mac Adams' night or day, but that was a big one. Atlanta gets to the red zone first. They have 4 unanswered points.
Margins are so thin here. When you create a free ball situation, you have to score that. If they don't score that and we're looking at 19-19, then Austin has all the momentum again.
This isn't quite the zombie movie we saw in the first set, but they were down by 2. Now they're up by 2. Miller over the top, finds some open floor. Creative play by the rookie Miller.
Adam comes over for tip, but has to realize that you're there for the tip and even that donut roll shot that goes deeper, because you're committed to picking up that ball. You got to run it down as well.
Opponents usually in system when Lloyd serves. That pass tied to the net. Cat Bell. Dug by Fairbanks. Adams again. Dug by Zoe Jarvis in as a DS. Bell gets rejected.
Huge play by Adams there.
Big momentum swing.
One-on-one, makes that move into the low seam, so Cat Bell sees that it's a one-on-one, assumes that Adams is going to go straight over, and she drops her right hand into that low seam.
Second block of this match for Adams. Ella Mae Powell back into serve. Carla DeHoog back in at opposite. Miller, coverage by Adams. Powell teeing up DeHoog. Diving dig effort by Jarvis, but couldn't keep it alive. And would you look at that? Atlanta leads by 3.
Again, those plays where you create free balls, you have to have it after 20. It's such a big momentum swing. Great job of them being able to run offense, throwing it right down Austin's throat in transition.
Timeout taken by Austin. So here is Love Austin down by 3, needing a comeback of their own. You're the head coach. What do you say to him?
Well, apparently the head coach is going to listen to them talk here.
Julianne Fawcett doing some of the talking.
Yeah, and some of what they're talking about, it's a technical, it's the sharp cross court. You got to dig that ball, yes, but they just got to get first ball side out. You can't give Atlanta an opportunity to dig and run transition because they've been really effective at it. It's just you got to take care of the things that you can control there, especially for Atlanta. It's when you do create an opportunity where you have a chance to score, take care of it. You got to do your dishes. You can prepare the meal, you can cook it, but you got to finish it.
You have your best player still on the sidelines in Madisen Skinner. Is it time to get her back out there?
I think this is more about them making a point of keeping Eggleston and Skinner off the court right now.
Play the long game. There she
Playing
is.
the long game.
Let's see if Austin can get that first ball side out. Promising start with the pass. And it's Bell. Back at you. Didn't get it. Bell again. Second effort. Cat Bell gets the side out for Austin. 22-20. And Bailey Miller will serve.
Coach Coco is going to be frustrated at that one. He's been telling their blockers all night long to keep moving it in, taking the cross court. They did on the first ball and stopped her. And then on the second ball, didn't come far enough in to take the cross court.
Powell teeing up Adams. Lunging dig by Onoe. Hardiman off the soft block. Dug by Peanut Pinoy. Off speed from DeHoog. Pancake try by Miller, but couldn't get it. And Atlanta is 2 points away.
For the first time, Cat Bell stayed deep to dig that sharp cross court. And DeHoog does a great job of recognizing that and tips it into her zone. The fact that the middle back tried to run up and get that pancake dig, that's really right front's ball to get.
What a smart play by DeHoog. One of the top opposite recruits in the nation at Washington more than a decade ago. Adams serves. Service error. Opens the door for Love Atlanta a bit. But for Love Austin a bit. Atlanta still okay if they get the side out.
You got middle back flying in, and so that's probably the last person that should be available to tip that. I think right front probably should collapse underneath and look for tips there.
Is set to 25. You got to win by 2. DeHoog tools the block, and it is match point for Atlanta. A team that looked dead in the first set and in the second. They were down 18-11 in the second. Stormed from behind to win it.
Smart
And they
choice.
dominated the third.
Smart choice of LMA Powell, knowing who's hot on that right side. The connection is so great between the two. That's who you're going to feed in this situation.
Austin hanging by a thread. Tia Jemerson, the Atlanta native, serves. Very tight to the net. A chance here to win it for Powell. San Giacomo, and we have a ball that was over the net.
I think LMA Powell netted.
Yep. So Austin back within 2. Second match point coming up for Atlanta, looking for their 4th consecutive win. And Atlanta challenging this one, whether or not they were into the net, which would create a replay of the point. Paulo Coco challenging this. Really got to hand it to him and the moves he's made in this match. So I guess the call was reaching over the net and challenging that. It didn't look like it was a reach.
Yeah, she didn't touch it, but LMA Powell's right foot may come under anyway. Yeah.
All right, so the net was hit.
Yeah, I don't think she touched that anyway. And LMA Powell does go under all the way.
Yep. So 24-22, second match point coming up for Atlanta.
You're in a 3-hitter rotation. You run your middle on a shoot set to try to get Asia O'Neal away, and you're setting Carly DeHoog back here.
I like the call. Oh, how about the ace?
And we'll never know.
We'll never know. Ace for O'Reilly. Timeout Atlanta. So their third match point is coming up. Austin a point away from tying this up.
And Skinner's back in the match, by the way. As soon as it got to where Carly LeWaitt became front row, they double subbed as well. So Brie O'Reilly's back in setting, and you got Maddie Skinner blocking on the outside. But what you do have is you have Hardiman blocking against DeHoog. So at only 5'10", she's physical, but not necessarily the biggest blocker. So the challenge becomes, if it's a perfect pass situation, it's what is Asia O'Neal going to do? Do you really trust that she's going to head to set Jill Hashaba right now, or do you just know she's setting?
It's a guessing game, isn't it?
Yeah. I know that you know, but you know that I know that you know.
First, they got to have a good pass.
Yeah, need the pass.
Third match point for Paulo Coco's Love Atlanta. And Brie O'Reilly will serve again. Madisen Skinner over on the right pin. Carly DeHoog perhaps awaiting her chance. There's the good pass. It's outside. San Giacomo wins it. Love Atlanta wins their 4th consecutive. They take down Austin in 4. I know that you know that I know that you know, so let's do something entirely not on the bingo card.
Well, the pass got pulled so far forward that would have been a really aggressive back set, so it almost went to whatever is trustable and hittable in that situation. But again, Atlanta just keep on keeping on. They're more comfortable in the trenches playing ugly volleyball than any other team in the league. And that's a compliment. The resiliency of, like, they get smashed 25-13 and they just don't care. They just keep moving on, and that's, I think, one of the greatest strength of that team.
If you're an Atlanta fan, you love the sequel. Zombie Apocalypse 2 for the second consecutive match. They're down big, and they come from behind to win a set. They were down 18-11, later 2016 in the second set, and they come from behind to win it, and they dominate the third, and they hang on to win the fourth, 25-23. And now they are 5-5. Remember, this team started 1-5, but they've won 4 consecutive. Little breathing room between them and Nebraska and Madison. Come April, the top 4 teams advance to the Love playoffs. It's a big win for them.
Yeah, and I think they have the opportunity to keep improving maybe more than the other teams because of their youth. They're so young and their professional experience that they're going to keep getting better as the season progresses.
Gaining more and more experience. One more match here in Week 7. That'll be at Nebraska. 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central on ESPN2. That'll be at Baxter Arena. And Marie Anderson and Cameron Irwin have the call on the Deuce And so Madison and Nebraska, a couple of teams trying to claw their way from the bottom. Look at those veterans, Carlini and Larson. So Love Atlanta does the job. Got a fun weekend. Our executive producer is Tom Fuhr, producer Louise Story, director Lori Brooks, for Michael Seeley and our entire crew. I'm Rich Burke. That's it here at Gateway Center in Atlanta. The hometowners win it in 4 over Austin.